The engine is still
for launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps. The cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, all my creepy little weirdos out there. Before we get started, I just want to say April Fools. Sorry, had to do it. Anyway, I want to welcome you again to another episode of Horror History and Haunting Podcast. I'm excited to introduce a friend of mine that is hilarious, and he has the biggest heart, of a person can have. But to get a little serious, here comes the intro. Tonight, on the Horror History and Haunting Podcast, what happens when an ordinary man is pushed into the extraordinary, not by curiosity, but by loss? What if the afterlife isn't just something we wonder about, but something that starts reaching back? Tonight's guest didn't come into the paranormal looking for answers. He came looking for understanding. He is a television personality, a producer, and the star of the 2024 paranormal reality series Para with the Normal, alongside his partner in crime, medium MaryLynn, a man who describes himself as just that, normal, stepping into the world that is anything but. From Searchers Afterlife to the Three Haunted podcast, and now investigating life after death alongside medium Mary Lynn. He also has a podcast called the Lost Ghost Podcast in production. So please welcome Michael Gagliano. Woohoo! Hi, Mike. How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? Hey.
I'm doing pretty good today. Today's been a fun experience of a day for me. It's my first day I've got glasses
Oh,
for the first time in my life. So I hit my head, as you know, and it messed with my vision. So I actually had to go and get
ooh, nice,
actual
nice.
glasses. So, but it's been incredible. I can actually see things now. That's great. I had my first physical therapy session in, months, because I had to have a couple of epidurals.
Oh, wow, bud.
Yes, yeah. I had an epidural in my
See, they keep
cervical.
talking about that with some of my issues, and I'm like, no.
Absolutely do it. But
What?
it's different. So here's the thing. So that when I said the same thing, okay,
Mhm.
I've had two. I had one in my cervical and I had one in my lumbar. And when they're like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do hey April. April Buffett's on. She's just absolutely gorgeous. I love her so much.
Oh, I love April. She's so
I
much
know.
fun.
She's my spirit human. That's what I call her.
Spirit human. I love that.
Yes.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, woo, that's actually me, but
Well, what's up? Well,
Hey,
I'm repeating
Danielle.
it. There's goes Danielle, and we have April, of course. Hey, Michael. Well, fine, April. Don't say hi to me. I won't get my feelings hurt.
Right.
And
When
Ashley
I
says
went
hi.
to do the the epidural, I was like, man, I got super. I was like, no way, because I hear about and they get it in. They're like, well, they're like, look, when a lady goes in for an epidural, it's really under duress. Normally, when you do an epidural, there has to be like X-rays involved, and they kind of like guide everything through, but they can't do that because there's a baby in the way.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
that's what scares
okay.
me too, because I've had them, because I'm forced to have C-sections.
Yes.
That's one of my conditions. I can't deliver.
Gotcha. But
But
look, a C-section is probably a lot better than other letters.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want an F section. That just
No.
sounds bad.
Right? Messy as
section?
hell.
Ooh.
But I was like, okay, well, I was like, let's do it. Honestly, at this point, I was in so much panic, I could barely walk a quarter of a mile. I was like, might as well do it. Might as well make it happen.
Ashley, if you want to come on the show, just hit me up.
Yeah.
And tell me what your story is, and maybe we can get you on. And April's like, I did.
She did. She did eventually
Yeah,
say, hey,
she did say
Christina.
hi. Hi, honey. Love you.
So I was like, let's do it. They knocked me out to do it.
Oh,
Because
they do?
Well, I hit my head. So my issue is I will be good, and then all of a sudden I'll just forget that I'm doing something and then change my mind as to what I was doing. This first happened to me when I was literally in the bathroom trying to shit. And I sat down, and then I don't know, I had this weird morph in my head, and I went, what am I doing here? And I got up to walk away because I don't see any reason for me to be on this toilet in this public bathroom. And then I almost crapped myself. I went, oh my God, that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, knock me out, because I do not want you to have needles in my spine and then me to go, all right, guys, well, see ya.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Right? But it turned out to be an incredible experience. It brought my pain level way down, post injury.
That's
so
good.
that's been huge. Just
Yeah,
learning
because
how
I
to
know there
sleep
for a
again.
long time you were really suffering, with
Yeah.
your back and your head and vision. So I'm glad that you're doing a lot better. Personally, I'm just thankful that you're still with us, my
Yeah.
friend. But glasses
Absolutely.
aren't so bad. I can show you something cool. I can do a
Yes.
magic trick if I'm feeling spicy and want to match my background.
Whoa! Did you just like? Was it just like a frame?
It just goes on, and I
Ah,
wear for my
that's your
library podcast.
OnlyFans frame.
And then if I'm feeling really cool and dope,
Yeah. Oh
supermodel.
snap!
Yeah, they're called Pair Eyewear. And
Hair eyewear. That's
yeah.
really cool.
You might want to check because they have all kinds, for seasons. You can get hearts for like Valentine's Day and Christmas ones.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whew, I forgot to breathe.
Well, I think MaryLynn said she was trying to come in.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I just seen her pop on. We have a bonus person that's coming. Hello, MaryLynn. How you doing?
How are you?
So she was there.
Welcome
actually,
to the party.
Thank you.
She showed up about 2 minutes after I had hit my head.
Oh, thank goodness.
So yeah, we were all in Beverly Hills together. It just was serendipitously, honestly. But yeah, that was pretty nuts, man. Because and the craziest part is I actually have. So I lost memory for about 6-7 days. That are gone. I'll never get back. However, through seeing a very recent image, in fact, there's no blood, but it is still a little on the gross side. But I'm going to show you guys anyway.
Okay.
But I just want to prepare y'all for
Well, we have the disclosure statement at the beginning of the podcast for a reason.
I will bring that up. Can you see that picture?
Yeah.
So that little stain right there is actually from my head. That's my blood.
What is that like? Is it the floor that's cracked?
It's the sidewalk.
Yeah, that is concrete. That is a sidewalk that had collapsed on one side. So that this part of the concrete is actually declined,
down,
and this side is inclined up. And so my scooter went right past this point, and I literally went straight down. I literally endoed. I went head first straight down, and it pulled the scooter onto the back of my skull, and that's what got me. So, but I didn't.
The way his head landed, because I had to put my hand under to help stop the bleeding, I was just able to go straight under because of the big gap. His head was right there and is just up. So if he had a helmet on, it would have broke his neck.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't have a helmet, but I wasn't going fast, guys. Like, don't think I was going like a million. I was going like 10 miles an hour. That's it. So I was with another scooter that could barely move. So it just was the level of the sidewalk. There was no warning. And when it came down, the whole scooter just kind of came down on the back of my skull. And but I had no memory. I couldn't figure out because we were trying to figure out, like, where did you fall? How did you fall? It wasn't until I saw this photo that moment of falling down, all I can remember is falling face first and putting my hand out. And then everything's black.
And then you lost like the next
7 days.
Wow.
Well, actually, I lost that whole day. I don't even remember getting to Beverly Hills.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not laughing because
no,
I don't think it's funny. It's just if I feel
comedy is born in tragedy. I believe that wholeheartedly. So I have no laugh because sometimes it's all you can do. But yeah, I drove to Beverly Hills, but I don't ever remember leaving my house in Las Vegas.
Wow, that's amazing and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, because I was taking pictures and also doing videos, and we had a cameraman with us too doing videos and show Mike that he was driving and talking and cleaning cars, and he does nothing
and no idea, like it's completely blank. Well, how breathe, relax, because I lost my breath because I get excited and then I'm like, forget to breathe. But Howie is the main guy here at RNN Network.
Hey,
he's one of the founders, so that's he's a wonderful guy.
How are you doing?
How are you doing, brother? I just saw you here. Hey, MaryLynn. MaryLynn was a bonus. We didn't know MaryLynn was going to be able to pop on. Share it out. Welcome everyone to the RNN. Gotta love Howie.
I always I do spirits for spirits anytime I do a podcast.
I thought you had a TARDIS.
I know that's what it looks like, but it's actually it's a
TARDIS.
Yes.
It's a tortoise, yes.
It's so
Yes,
you
it's a
can get
tortoise.
shit-faced.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Sorry,
I love
RNN.
it.
I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or not. I probably should have asked.
You're fine. That it was in the disclosure.
Okay, that's right.
You can even say the shit word. Oh man, I wish I would have known. All I got is Pepsi with me right now.
Hey,
Hold
that's
on.
all right. But typically, when I have to start talking about the tough stuff, a little bit of Fireball helps take the edge off. You know.
Right.
But yeah, so that's that. But prior to that, we were working on a deal. It went through. We are now officially paired with the Normal is on Tubi.
Nice.
So if you have Tubi, there's 100 million subscribers. You all have access free to watch our show, so you could still watch it on Beacon, and you can see all of our premium content on Beacon. I know it does kind of look like a TARDIS, which is so weird that the TARDIS never changes, but Doctor Who does.
Hey, but
right? And then he gets on the TARDIS. Does that make him retardus? How does that work?
Well, the thing is Howie is the Doctor Who aficionado.
Okay.
But I'm an avid nerd. The TARDIS doesn't change because it's broken.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I've never seen it. So, and this is another good thing, because especially if Howie is a avid, Doctor
Tardian.
Who, is it a Tardian? Yes. Old Doctor Who, new Doctor Who. Where do you go? Where do you start with?
Nostalgia, I go with like the 8th Doctor, because that's what I remember from being a kid watching it with my dad.
Who's the 8th Doctor?
He's the one with the fluffy hair, and he has the really long, colorful scarf. He almost has
Jimi Hendrix.
Well, he's a white version. Is the best way.
Oh.
He has brown.
Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin.
Oh well, yeah, I guess he fits that description too. Well, but my favorite Doctor is, of
Pepper?
course, Ed Odell. I gotta say Ken because he's. But my original, actual Doctor, it would be the 10th Doctor, David Tennant.
I only remember the one. He was. See, I wish I could remember his name, but I can't. He was on. He played Mr. Purple on Jessica
Mr.
Jones.
Purple. I don't think I ever
Jessica
watched
Jones is a Marvel show on Netflix, and he's also on Bad Omens, I think is the name. No.
Yeah, that's David Tennant. That's
David Tennant. Yes, I remember David Tennant.
That's my favorite Doctor. He's my favorite.
Oh, was he number 10?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. So, okay, look at that. Vibing right
Sorry, MaryLynn. We got on a fun tangent.
She's used to it.
Hi guys, Crystal's here.
Hi, Crystal.
It's Hoovian.
Okay.
That sounds like hooligan.
Oh, you started with the first Doctor.
With the first Doctor.
Ooh, like the original, the little old guy
one?
that stole it.
Dr. Quinn?
Medicine Woman?
David Tennant wasn't Jessica Jones, right? Yes.
Okay.
David Tennant, yeah. He plays he's called Mr. Purple.
He's a great actor. Yes. He's phenomenal. I started to say fabulous and phenomenal together, and it wasn't a word.
Wow.
I make stuff up.
Does Doctor Who ever have kids?
Technically, because they take his DNA and they make like a female clone. So it's technically his genetic material in a female form.
Oh.
I don't know if you qualify that as a kid.
Because I'm just saying, at that point, it would actually be appropriate to say, who's your daddy?
Right?
Yeah.
Doctor Who's your daddy? He says, yes.
Yes.
But
River,
River is a doctor in her own right. So is Donna, technically. But River is the daughter of one of his companions, but she becomes his wife.
Oh.
It's complicated. River tries to kill him. It's a whole thing.
But
you gotta watch it.
So he runs through it.
What do you mean runs through it?
River.
He runs through. What they do in the privacy of their own TARDIS is their business.
Right.
That's
exactly.
all I'm saying.
So
Okay.
You had mentioned you had some questions.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, yeah, two ADHD people that are high energy. You know, we are never gonna ask questions. It's just gonna be chaos. But we got MaryLynn to tell
I
us.
just
what to
sit
do.
here and nod.
Yeah. She knows. She's dealt with me. She knows how to rein me in if she needs to.
I do, yes. It's just smacking it behind the head gently.
But I will say before you ask your first question,
Like
we
Jethro.
will be at Cajun Country where she will be doing a gallery reading and her intuitive paintings, where she
Oh,
basically
nice.
talks to you and is able to create like a psychic impression on an actual piece of art, which is incredible.
That's cool.
But
That's
she'll also
amazing.
be doing that, I think, at Maine Paranormal.
Oh,
Maine
nice.
Paracon. So
Yeah.
if you guys are going to be at
Maine
Paracon,
Paranormal and Horror Convention.
Yes.
we
The
will be
second
there.
annual, because I'll be there.
Hey,
Oh,
well, we will be there. So if you're going to be there, be square. We'll be there. MaryLynn will be doing that, which is awesome.
And I think April's coming too.
yes. I
Miss
saw her.
Buzzard? Oh, yes, absolutely. She'll be
Yeah, I
there.
think.
Look, anywhere I
Oh.
can see April and have some wine together with her, and I can't even taste it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have
we
a drink with her
literally-
too.
The only time I've ever had wine was with April. She doesn't even know that, but that is the God's honest truth. She's like, come have wine with me. And I was like, okay.
We have another bonus guest. Oh my God. Let's
Katie?
bring her on.
Yeah.
We're having a party here. Come
Yeah,
on.
who is it?
Oh,
Fuck.
wait a minute. I click happy. Sorry, I do that from time to time. Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome to the chaos that is the Horror History and Haunted Podcast.
Yeah, the two of them are definitely chaos together.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
Katie,
I'm
they're the calm ones.
They are.
right. You have to have like I call my boyfriend my ADHD wrangler because he keeps me from doing really stupid things that people shouldn't do. Just I'm 46 years old. I have no business trying to climb a tree, that kind of thing. He's just like, let's live in
Yeah.
reality. That may not be the best idea. But yeah, how he's talking about Amy. Amy was the companion that had River. So he's saying, well, if you want a hoe there, it's Amy.
Okay.
But she's attractive.
That's the mood.
Yeah.
Has
How
she
do you
ever
like all
fallen?
this stuff, Mike? I guess talking about the chaos here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Technology
his
and me.
mind never stops.
That's the way I run. I
Well, she's
can't.
talking about Amy
because of it.
and being a hoe. I was
She's
just
the
curious
calm
if she ever fell.
What?
I was just curious if Amy ever fell in any of the episodes.
Most definitely. Like that.
Because
Every
then that would be a hoe
episode.
down.
Yeah, it would be. Boom.
Boy, did I come in at just the right time. Talking about toes.
Hoes and bros and shots
Toes
and
and toes.
you
Boats
missed
and
the
hoes.
tortoise.
my dogs love the joke apparently.
Yeah. Bark
They-
on, brother. Bark on. Okay.
But
Yay.
you had some questions for me.
Right. I'm multitasking is a challenge. Yay, Cajun Country, April 10th and 11th. There's the dates if you want to keep track of that. And Howie, holy crap, you have all three of them.
Yes. Look out.
Evil laugh. Whoa. Anyway, getting back to the podcast that we're supposed to be doing. You already answered my first question, which was I wanted to go back to your story about your traumatic brain injury. And you walked through what happened.
Yeah.
And now, how did that change you physically and mentally after you had the traumatic brain injury?
Physically, mentally, they kind of go one and I mentioned this word earlier, simpatico. They're really simpatico with one another because I felt like my body was broken, right? There's a big difference between I want to kill myself, right? Feeling suicidal and feeling that you've outstayed your welcome, right? And to me, here I am, I get back home. I'm laying in bed. I can barely walk. I can't see. My head is killing me. I can't lift my arm because I tore my labrum.
Oof.
On top of all that, I couldn't think. I couldn't remember people. I couldn't remember time. And I felt like I just don't, it's not like, why am I here? It's, I've gone past my due date. I felt like I'm expired milk. My body is broken. I don't have a purpose. I had a purpose. I mistreated my body, and I've lost that ability. I've lost the right to feel entitled to life. And it was difficult for me to stop trying to understand that we can't be entitled to anything. And it's a big issue where we always think that we've done something to have the right to feel that we deserve what we're getting. But the reality is you have to stop trying to feel entitled and have to focus on earning. Right? You have to embrace opportunities. And ironically, as hard as it sounds, I hadn't even hit rock bottom, because physically my body was so destroyed, but mentally I had completely disassociated myself spiritually, right? Mentally. I completely disassociated myself with what I had gone through. I did not want to accept that there was change, right? So beyond going, okay, well, my body's broken. I feel like I need to go and finish the job. I need to walk out in front of a car and end it. It would be better for everyone. To going, okay, well, all right, my body's broken. So what? Guess what? We all break. Everything happens. How many times do you have to take a car in for maintenance? You don't throw your car away, right?
Well, it depends on the car.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes cars can be
Get a newer
totaled,
model.
right?
I wish bodies were like cars. We could just trade them in when they got broken, but
It would be great.
unfortunately, we can't do that. So it sounds like you had a real like emotional and spiritual turn.
It did.
When you were forced to slow down and actually think about like what happened and what you were doing before that, and like how it was
Yeah.
impacting everybody, and that's
It,
hard. It's
and
hard.
it took me, honestly, Katie and MaryLynn were there. I was trying to host an event in Birmingham, and things just went so out of my control, and it was so, all it did was, even though I can't remember the actual event,
Mhm.
it started to fleet those feelings of the emotion of what I had to go through. And it forced me into a moment of acceptance, right?
It's almost like a death.
Yeah.
Like
What do
you
they
had
call,
to,
like, those stages of, is it called
yeah.
the 5 stages of
It's
grief?
the 5 stages of grief. Yeah, that's what, because when you have like a traumatic, any type of trauma, severe trauma, you have a certain degree of grief grief process that you have to go through to kind of come to terms with it and
Yeah.
accept that what happened in the past is in the past,
Yeah.
and that you can only focus with what you have to focus with.
And look, and honestly, I'm going to
I mean,
tell
that's my
everybody this right
opinion,
now.
but
Whatever happened in the past is in the past. That is slightly inaccurate, in the fact that, yes, it is in the past, but you have you you have to be responsible for remembering that, right? You have to take what you effed up, and you have to run with it still, right? So I've always been a firm, since I was a little kid, I've always felt like nobody is responsible for you, babe. Nobody is responsible for you, but you. Even when bad things happen, and guess what? Bad things happen that are beyond your control. But the reality is, what you do from that point is entirely your control. It's entirely your purview as to how you
Amen,
handle it.
brother.
So
Amen, brother. Because
that
anybody can change. You just have to hit that. I think some people need to
yes,
literally be smacked in the face
you do.
with something to make them stop and actually think about their life and their place in this world. Because we're just a teeny tiny little grain of sand in an infinite beach of universal planets. And, you look at the
Yeah,
people on,
and I
we are
hate ocean water. It tastes
infinitesimal.
gross.
Yes, it does. But I think a lot of people they spend too much in their
Nipples,
me.
right?
Well, yeah, I don't,
That too.
I won't complain about that. But anyway,
Fair.
but but I think they put too much self.
Loathing.
Well, that, but also in some people's cases, it's self
They remain the
idolization.
victim.
Yes.
They
So
remain
I
the
will
victim.
say this too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Mary.
The focal point of blame and stupidity
Hmm.
is not understanding the difference between self-awareness and self-importance.
Yeah, exactly. I
Right?
didn't know how to word it, but
That's
you
what it
you
is. They
nailed
they
the nail
you
on the
try
head
to
with that.
focus on being self-important. It has to
Hmm.
be, but the reality is you need to be aware.
Hmm.
You need to put your own ego, you need to put everything that you had, you need to look at it from a third person point of view. You need to step back and say, okay, whew, wow, things got a little out of control. I need to figure this out. I need a moment. I need to refocus. Because if what you do is you just focus on that self-importance, what you do is you wind up blaming others.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then you
Look at, and if
become
you into
bitter
paranormal
about it.
research,
Hmm.
if you do paranormal,
Yeah.
any ghosts that you come across, they go, oh man, this terrible thing happened to me, and I blame this person. They are stuck in that,
Hmm.
right? They take that with them, right? And we can't say that, oh well, it's just because they can't unlive it. Time is different. Time dilation does not exist.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's something we were going to talk about. When
I did.
you
I did
you
have one.
had an NDE.
She'll, MaryLynn, by all means, she'll tell you.
Yeah, so whenever I walked up and just like I said, trying to support his head and help him, I called his name. He opened his eyes. He said my name. He looked at me and then done. I mean, there was nothing there. He was gone. And then just in the entire time in ICU, he would wake up. He would open his eyes, try to get up and go to the bathroom, and I'd have to put my hand on his chest and say, Mike, you hit your head. And he was like, oh, I did. And it's just nothing there. And it's just every 10 to 15 minutes, it was just him trying to get up and move around.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
was so,
he was
I
gone.
mean, nothing was there. I
There
showed
was
her my
nothing.
wiener.
Maybe that.
I
Maybe,
did. I had
Because
I had a catheter in, and I had no idea what it was.
he
oh,
kept
and
trying to get up to go to the bathroom, and I kept telling him, Mike, you have a catheter, and he's like, oh. And then
What is
one
this?
time he's like, come here, and so he's like, come here. So I come around, and he's like, what's this?
Yeah, what is this?
I'm like, that is your wiener, sir.
Yeah, but that just shows you.
That's your catheter, so you can go to the bathroom. So yeah, so
Right.
I've seen
But
him
you
in all
still
his glory.
feel it. I think guys feel it more when they have a catheter in, the urge to still have to pee.
Thankfully, I have no memory, so I wouldn't know. But
I'm
what?
wondering, with your memory loss and the fact that you don't remember a week of your time and you had a near death experience,
Yeah.
maybe you were living that week kind of in between realms, from like crossing over, like part of you had crossed over and part of you were still here.
Well, I've brought up a couple of times on some other podcasts, and to MaryLynn and to Katie. Katie's really big into tarot, by the way. Not taro. That's a root. I've
Yeah,
discovered.
that's really good.
Very
Taro
different.
shakes. Excellent.
Never
so,
had them.
So nice. Oh, you'll love it.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
have to do a tarot day. It'll be great.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Woohoo! Purple.
Um,
Purple. So that it makes the prettiest purple shakes.
Oh,
Oh,
it's true. Yeah.
Sorry, ADHD. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Totally fine.
We got all serious and like deep, and then we're like, Tayo, let's make shakes. Sorry.
I feel like there is that chance that you hear about like the multiverse, like multiple realities or parallel realities. And they talk about Sasquatch and Fae, and well, they go to a different dimension. What if it's not so much a dimension as is literally just a neighboring reality that got so close that it's so thin that it's easy for them to go back and forth. But what if that happens? What if my body literally said, "Hey, Mike"? No, Archer's on a walk. Mike, I'm hurt. Things don't look good right now. I'm not telling you to leave, but maybe go. And if for some reason I can figure out a way to pull myself out of this,
Then come back.
I'll ring the bell. I'll pull the string. I'll tell you to come right on back, buddy. And I said, hey, sounds fair. So there's a great chance. What if I went and I just hung out with another Mike? I went to Mike 827.
Right?
Honestly, and maybe I didn't even interact. I just watched.
Right? I think we talked about that one time, like when
I was
you
just
were
attached to
on
something.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit.
Because
Hi,
anytime,
Sorry.
that's Loki. But anytime you're with, you always want to err towards comfortability, right? So it would make more sense for somebody of like a spirit who essentially could be infinitely powerful, right? To go to an alternate reality to find somebody like themselves. So they have some type of comfort, some type of control in a weird way, right?
Yeah, I just watched a movie about that. I can't remember what it was called.
And we're proud of you, Christina.
For what?
Watching a movie.
Yes, I watch lots of them, so be extra proud. No, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about a guy that did a device that he could jump to another reality, and because he jumped to the other reality,
Doctor Who.
No, it's not Doctor Who. It's recent, but he switched places with another version of himself.
It's almost like Quantum Leap.
Yeah. Or Sliders. Do you remember
I
Sliders
love that
too?
show. I loved Quantum Leap when I was
My
young.
favorite.
I like Sliders more, but that's just me.
Dracula.
Well, Sliders is really good, but if you
Yeah.
try to go back and watch it, the episodes are kind of disjointed. They're not placed properly.
Yeah, and they should have had a lot more like mini burgers. Right?
Right?
They're sliders. It would have been. It was
Right.
It,
That
it was
should've-
built into the
they
name, man.
should have done a deal with White Castle. Is all
Absolutely.
I'm saying. It would have been a match made in heaven.
Man,
Now I
opportunity.
want cheeseburgers.
I love cheese. Well, I used to love cheeseburger. Now I can't taste as much, but I'm working on it.
If I may, seeing we only see 47 of color and 32 of sound, what if it's all here just in ranges of our interaction?
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up.
I agree with Mike. Yeah, I kind of have a theory on that. I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. That all our devices,
I'm all ears.
all our devices that we
Wrong
use
ear.
for paranormal research
Well, this is a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, you're backwards. Okay.
is based on frequency, whether it's light frequency, whether it's sound frequency. And the basis of a lot of frequency is electromagnetic. So I think the connection, like the one thing that I wish that we could do more research as a community is electromagnetism in paranormal research, because electromagnetism, you can change the frequency of things. So, because like Howie was talking, we only see less than half of the spectrum of color because our eyes are the way they are. We see a version of reality that is only for human eyes. And some people have an advanced vision because they have extra cones in their eyes and they can actually see different closely related colors. That
And some people have private
don't.
eyes, like Hall and Oates.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Private eyes.
They're watching
They're
you.
watching you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week. And even Howie's tuning in. He's like, bravo, Chris. But yeah, I have this thought in my head about trying to do experiments based on electromagnetism and seeing if it amplifies like psychic ability would be one that I would definitely be interested in. I would love to take a group of psychics separately at the same location and with different electromagnetic frequencies playing in the room with them and see how it affects
So
different sensitives.
I'm
I
gonna
think it would
blow
be a
your
cool.
mind.
Okay.
This just sounds so weird, but when I was 12, I actually created I wrote an entire basis for a motor based on electromagnetism, but not to get around Earth, but to move in space
Hmm.
and being able to use it to create gravity to fold
To
space.
fold space.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you look at what a black hole is a super amount of mass or gravity
Yeah,
that actually
compressed.
creates a fold
Hmm.
and then it's pushed out through what's called a white hole is what is the current quantum theory.
Right.
Now you have to also consider the fact that the universe originally was thought to be expanding and dissipating. However, now they're saying it's actually cylindrical.
Hmm.
It's actually
It's like a
more of
big
a
donut.
it's almost like a cone.
Oh,
Not
now
a
there's
donut, but like a
because
cone.
there for a while they had that rounded
Right.
theory.
And now they're saying it's almost more so you've got the center and then
Okay.
everything is so they're saying you could literally start right here, and if you could move just straight through the universe, you would eventually wind up exactly right where you started.
Hmm.
So I had this idea and I wrote it all down, and then I actually shared it with Josh Jonas, a friend of mine, only to find out that my idea had found its way to fruition on of all things, thanks to Tesla. Well, not Tesla, but I guess
Elon Musk.
SpaceX.
Hmm.
Elon Musk. They are creating a super mag lift train that is literally based on the idea I had when I was 12,
And that's
almost to a
funny you
T.
said that. Like whenever I was 12, that's something like I toyed with in my brain was like because I had a thing for magnets when I was younger, and I was like, if you could, because if you have a magnet and you put one on top because of the opposing force, if you have enough weight, it causes zero friction. There's a gap regardless.
Right.
So all you need is propulsion. So if you had some sort of angular something you control in the rear to cause a push, it would glide across that with it
Well,
would
that's
have
called a
a
gay bar. If you need a rear push,
a rear
you know?
push. So it's funny that you brought that up because I kind of tinkered with it when I was younger
Yeah.
too.
For me, it wasn't even that I had any type of obsession with
The good
magnets.
comment, yeah.
Yeah. It was more,
I
hey,
am.
it was more just
No, it's a cone, top and bottom, still
almost like
point
pulling
up
it
and
from
down,
memory.
present. Okay, so there's conflicting
Yeah. So,
theories
well,
out
like
there. So.
there's a lot of theories,
Mhm.
but the most recent theory that I've witnessed is that of a cone, the cylindrical donut. I've seen. What did he just say? What did that guy say?
Ed's like, no, it's cone, top and bottom. The center was or is the point of now, the present.
Right. Which is what basically what I'm attempting
I
to.
get you now, Mike. Universal theory.
Universal theory. Yeah, got
Gotcha.
right. Yes. See, and so it's one of those things where it all. That's what's wild. It all kind of creeps back. But if you go with the fact that we are spirits and the bodies are temporary, but we continue,
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason to believe that we haven't been living this song and dance for billions of years,
Right.
from planet to solar system to galaxy to galaxy.
And MaryLynn and Katie, you can chime in on this, but
Yeah,
like
any fucking time, ladies.
I'm just
But-
enjoying listening to YouTube banter back
But-
and forth.
According to physics, energy never dissipates. It always changes into something else, but it always stays. It
Correct.
changes states, but there's always energy. So, like, that's why I think the energy has something to do with electromagnetism. But
Well, electromagnetism would technically be energy, and you're using the energy to create
Oh, I like him.
gravity in the form of to create gravity in the absence of mass.
Mhm.
Is essentially what magnetism is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So magnets are really cool, and
And it's
magnetic physics is they're amazing. But like, I think that there is a use for them for electromagnetism in the paranormal. I just haven't put the pieces together.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
just want to
mean?
know, do we have like male solar systems and like female solar systems? Like, can we be humped by another solar system? Like, that's what I want to know.
Well, we could bump.
Yeah.
We could bump
Like, do we
universes.
make baby solar systems if that happens? Like, how does that work?
Maybe that's how stars are born. It's usually some sort of cataclysm. Maybe it's just the orgasm of the two universes. We'll never know.
That or a rip in a condom, you know?
The
The
oops
sperm
baby.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why human race is so messed up. We're the oops baby.
Right. So, well, what's really funny is I brought up, I forget where, but I brought up astrology,
Hmm.
right? And Katie, you like astrology, right?
I love
You do.
astrology. Mm-hmm.
I think astrology is very unique. I'm not wearing the right hat. I'm wearing my Steve hat. Booze in the metal ship, folks. MC Steve. So I'm a Sagittarius. MaryLynn, I'm December 3rd. She's December 20th.
20th. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Katie, who fucking knows? So
Katie, what are you?
what
I'm
are
a
you?
Taurus.
Oh
I'm
my,
a Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh,
But
guess what
the
I
first-
am?
What
What
are
are
you?
you?
I told you to guess.
Oh,
Leo.
Nope.
Gemini.
Nope. You'll never guess. I'm a Cancer, believe
I
it or
was
not.
gonna say Cancer, but you said it too soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Dang
I
it.
have a big heart, but yeah, my Cancer doesn't come out the way normal people. Well, there's nothing about me normal, but
But I bring that up because the first documented
Ooh,
the
Bless you.
first documented writings of astrology is actually 2000 BC,
Mhm.
right? And they think it actually goes back as far as 3000 BC. Now, I think Galileo didn't even discover planets that's the lights in the sky were anything planetary, and then he thought the sun revolved around us. I mean, but that didn't come until much later. So everything that's based on astrology is not based on knowing anything about
thank you.
the science of why they exist, the bright lights existed, right?
Mhm.
And it's all based off of when you're born, where you're born, the location, the time, the place. All that has something to do with your body is basically what decides your astrology, right?
Yeah, and I believe that us there's real evidence that astrology is a real thing, because if you think about the first developmental years of a human being is like up to 2 and 3, okay, but each person experiences their first fundamental years differently
She
based
said,
on when
but
they're yeah, but um so squirrel. Now I'm thinking about butts. But anyway, the based like I was born in the summertime. So my first experiencing the world was a hot, summer. And then eventually it cooled off into a winter. And I think at that period of development, experiencing even those months affects how you develop as a human being. That's just a basic example. And then there's other things that go along with it, the holidays, the traditions, the different things that we're exposed to. And ultimately that's how we develop to be who we become at 3, our fundamental years. But that's just my thoughts on it.
well, I mean, I think there's a difference between training your body to be used to something versus right versus
You go,
it
butts
just naturally being a
cannot
part of
lie.
who you are, right?
Other brothers can't deny. Sorry.
Ooh, ooh. But what I'm getting at is, so do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes.
So do you think that every time you come back in a new body and you have a completely different sign, it completely changes your entire emotional, mental, and physical output.
Yeah. And I also do
So
think
that
we
means
go
you're
up into
literally
a
having
mass
to
of
act.
energy and we're getting pulled back into a body. And that's how sometimes we end up with like soul twins and like soul, what do they call them? Soul partners.
Twin
But
flames.
what I'm getting at
Soulmates.
is
Yeah.
you're saying your entire personality is literally based off of when and where you were born, not who you are.
Well, your experiences is what makes, part of that
But that has
happen.
nothing to do with astrology.
No, it doesn't.
That's what I'm getting at, right? So,
Hmm.
but now I'm gonna play my own devil's advocate here because I've had this conversation a little bit with Mary and Katie, or MaryLynn and Katie. There is that opportunity that you could be coming back in the same sign. You could decide this is my sign, therefore, anytime I decide to come back in a body, it will always be at this time.
I don't know, because that's the mystery of the afterlife. We really don't know the mechanisms that are at play after we die. I'm kind of a believer that we all get our energy gets sent up to the cloud of energy, basically the universal input, higher power, whatever you want to call it. But we all go into this fishbowl of energy, and
Sure.
then we kind of get scooped up when another person is born and you get placed in this body. So I think sometimes energies kind of mingle, and that's how transgenderism comes into play. That's how like you feel these undeniable connections to other people, because you never know, you might have picked up a little bit of their spirit as you were going on to your next incarnation. But these are all theories in my head. I have no like concrete evidence, but this is just me talking. But
I
in
mean,
my
I mean that's the
opinion,
whole
but
point of the, just of a podcast is just, shooting the shit, really,
right.
right? I mean,
Well,
I'm
Mike,
not an
like
expert in anything.
you're pointing out they choose to come back at the same sign. But even if you come back as the same sign, it's going to be a different day. It's going to be a different time. It's going to be a different location.
Not
Mhm.
So that's
necessarily.
every.
Not
Well,
necessarily.
your
And that could be,
experiences would change also, and
but
you never know. You could, because I'm telling you, I've never lived the life of a man that I'm aware of, but I
You have.
imagine that's a completely different experience than
You have.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
oh man.
well, that would explain a couple things.
But
Yeah.
but I do think, I mean, like, well, if, for example, what if you're like, okay, well, I really liked, and it's possible that you as a spirit could have no preference. But you know what? I'm just going to roll the dice and see where I come up because I just want to work with it. I want to roll with it. I want to see where I go. But then you could get people that, man, maybe they are born, they make it to 2 years old and they die of dysentery. And then
Mhm.
they come back in the next life and they make it to a teenager years and then they get kicked in the head by an ox. And then they're like, shit. And then they come back and they wind up going to World War One and then they get gassed and then they never make it past the age of 18. So then by the time they do finally come in, they're so messed up, right? Because they've just had so many terrible experiences in so many different ways,
Right.
right? That they can't it starts to mess with their think because they start to look at every new body as a negative,
Right.
right?
But that's when
And
you're inhabiting the body, though, you're not remembering those past lives. There's where some people can start remembering, kind of like you talk about the
I
snake
couldn't
shedding.
remember the fall, but I could remember the emotions,
Right.
right? So who's to say? And I've talked a lot about when it comes to reincarnation,
Mm-hmm.
we still get to interact with ghosts. You can't reincarnate if you're a ghost, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if you can? And my example of
Well,
that is
that is
actually psychics.
residual. Yeah, the residual energy of some,
What if it's
some
not
people are like
residual?
split.
What if it's not that?
What
What
if
if
it's a
that
time
is?
loop?
What if it's not even that? For example, if Sarah Lemos, great, I love her to death. She's phenomenal, excellent psychic. I asked her a little bit about what is your experience like when you are doing a mediumship. She said, "Well, I can see all the people that are attached to you, kind of like looking through
Infinite
like a
mirror.
mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see like grandparents, parents, uncles, great, 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 all the way go back." I said, "Wow, okay, that's cool. I get that." And I said, "You know what? I don't get it because how can those people be there while also being here. But then I had an apostrophe. Okay. What if when we die, we're infinite beings, right? I think we can all agree we have this incredible power, right? And a lot of us have no idea what we're actually truly capable of because we're so busy with this thing. What if when we pass, we shed this body like a snake sheds a skin, right? So you leave it here. You leave it so it stays attached to everything that you've created. You have a piece of your energy permanently tied. So it always has that power to stay in its true form, to be connected to all those things that it was meant to be connected to, while you go off and start again. However, just like a snake, little itty bitty pieces of skin can get stuck to the body, right? Those can be core memories. Maybe you're a polyglot. Maybe you are like, Hitler wasn't that bad. Or maybe you just are an excellent pianist at this point. You have these
Pianist. To
pianist.
clarify, pianist.
Right.
Or you just have those core memories of a past life. Oh yeah, I can remember being at a river. I can remember looking at the horse. I can see the guy's, 6-shooter. I remember it being specifically an 1861 Colt. You can have these little fleeting memories, but you can't have anything that ties everything together. Like you can't remember, maybe you remember a Wild West life. Maybe you have a fleeting memory of a Wild West life, but you can't remember your dog's name. You don't remember your best friend. You don't remember
Yeah,
if
that's
you were
fun.
married.
I used to have this reoccurring dream when I was younger. I've been married 3 times. Let's get that out there.
That's what the therapist told me.
Experienced.
Yeah.
But my second husband, who passed away, unfortunately,
Mhm.
stopped these dreams from happening. And it was a weird thing between us because all the way through adolescence, I would have this dream on occasion where I was on the back of a really old pickup truck and with a large group of people. Like we were packed in there and we had all our personal belongings. And the dream was always so vivid. And the thing that got me is I had a pillow from my home.
Yep.
And I lost it, and I see it because it's a dirt road. It's just like 2 tracks through like a field, and this pillow bounces, and I would wake up crying because I was so sad because that was the last piece of my home.
Yeah.
That they can't stop the truck for me to pick it up, so I had to let that go.
And who's to
And
say
it meant
that?
so much. It was so weird. But when we met, he had a similar dream of watching a girl, her pillow falls out of a truck. So we were connected that way. And as soon as we like met each other and we
Pillow
had that
talk.
conversation, the dream stopped. It was really weird. But anyway.
But that's true. And who's to say that, when you do go on to another life, that you don't take, maybe just intentionally, you go, you know what? I can't let this piece go. I have to hold on to this. I want this for me. Right? So, but you leave everything else there. Everything else there. So I do feel like there is this chance that we are continuously living, but we could still be dealing with ghosts that were left behind for other people, or there's people that have, there's also that theory or not a theory, just based on your religion, that maybe what comes next is heaven, maybe next is hell to you, maybe it's reincarnation, maybe it's not, maybe it's some type of karmic akashic record, right? You, me, all of us, as a person, as a being, we have to define by the end of our days whether or not we are worthy of what comes next.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's some spirits that, depending on their faith, it's a simple, they don't know what's coming next and they're afraid they're going to end up in a bad place.
And
So they
it may
just
not even
get
be
stuck
faith, it
and
may just be
forget.
their own feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
They
I mean?
don't feel like they're worthy. I think
You don't
there's a
feel like
lot
you
of
did
things.
enough.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that our spirit form or our energy is capable of. If that's why I'm a firm believer in manifesting. I used to think it was the silliest thing, and it didn't exist. But I mean, I kind of got thrown in the deep water when it came to like this realm of everything, and I'm
Yeah.
learning as I go. But I'm saying a lot of that I think was just me finally accepting me, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I finally accepted that people like me for me, and I didn't need to put on this where to get through it a mask um
Oh,
to
right.
try to be somebody for other people, that people were okay with me. And then things just kind of have started happening, and it's weird. And I'm still, my brain's catching up to everything. But I think we have, because another thing that I'm fascinated with is like subatomic particle theory. And the human mind is capable of changing electron pathways, because they did, it's called a double slit theory, where they shot electrons
You're
through
right.
two slits. You're
Right.
familiar with it.
Yes.
And as long as it was not being watched by
Yeah.
a human being, it would
We've had
hit
this
the
actual conversation. What
scatter.
you perceive changes what you are perceiving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What you perceive and think changes your reality in ways that you don't realize. And I think that's another reason why spirit healing works, because I think your spiritual body is changing your physical body with its energy. And whether that's through prayer, meditation, whatever your belief may be, I think there's a lot to be said about our
What
capabilities
what I can
with.
tell you is this from firsthand knowledge. This is the type of thing that will get you kicked out of a Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. So I'm just letting you know. I've been there. I've been down that road. Okay. Um,
You're talking metaphysics and Chuck E.
yeah.
Cheese.
Kids do not take it well. Okay. But no, you're absolutely right. But and this is another interesting thing. So you've brought up two different theories: the electromagnetism, the split theory. Both of these are rooted in trying to find the knowledge,
Hmm.
right? But if you look at something like religion, right? Religion is not about trying to find the knowledge; it's about trying to find the belief,
Hmm.
right? So there's this difference between wanting to believe but not know, and wanting to know but not believe, right? And so somewhere we have to realize that there's going to have to be some type of crossover. There has
Right.
to be some way for both of these to exist and remain copacetic at the same time.
And
And I think that's the interesting part
yeah,
to
that's
me.
where the hard rub is, because
Yeah, well, that and a
especially
brothel.
with religion, because everybody always assumes they're right and everyone else is wrong. And until
Right,
that we're able to ascend
right.
to a
And
higher
but
level of
and
humanity
again,
and be able to accept everybody for who they are and what they choose to believe, we're stuck.
there's a big difference between self-awareness, self-importance.
Hmm.
You have to know that sometimes you're not right. Sometimes you're only kind of right.
Right? I can't be right. I'm left-handed.
There it is.
I'm never right in my right mind because
That's
I'm broken
Katie's
self-awareness.
everything.
left-handed.
Who is?
Katie,
What's
Yay,
that?
left-handed book
you're
grade.
left-handed.
Woohoo!
No.
Never mind, she's not.
No.
Oh,
Nope. Sorry.
oh, then forget
Nope.
you.
Right-handed. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
But I
a
I can use
southpaw.
my left hand. I broke my collarbone on the right side when I
We're
was
not
7.
getting it. We're not going to get into details. All men can use both hands, but
Right.
we're not
That's
going to
true.
talk about that.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
I have an interesting, if we could switch
Fair.
talking about left-handed and right-handed.
The ADHD man. Go ahead,
I've
Katie.
I've
You
heard
got the
this
floor.
theory that by birth every human is naturally left-handed, and that at some point that just became wrong or bad, and so we started training our children to write with the right hand. And I don't know if that was like a religious thing because maybe we eat with our left hand so we can't write with our, I don't know. But I remember my nephew who's 13 now, he's left-handed, and he went through this period where when he was growing up in grade school, they're like, you're going to get made fun of because you're left-handed. And so my brother and sister-in-law tried to untrain him from being
Mhm.
left-handed and retrain him to be right-handed.
Yeah, that happened to
Mhm.
my wife actually.
They used to think it was a sign of being a witch
Yes.
that
Is
it
that
was
what it is?
unlucky. It would
Yes.
bring misfortune to the household. And it was just weird because I remember my parents trying to teach me to use my right hand, and some things I have to use my right hand because they don't you. It's kind of a small itty bitty disability to be left-handed and be true left-handed because nothing is made for left-handed people.
Yeah.
Even the doors,
Yeah.
like when you walk through a door, if you think about it, it's always the knob's on the right hand.
He
right
vomited
right
on
side.
drinking too much alcohol.
Who did?
Oh,
I've
the
done that.
Doors. The lead singer from the Doors.
Oh, I
I'm
got
sorry.
you.
That's who I thought you were talking about.
Okay,
Sorry.
it took a minute. Like,
No,
I
that's
got
fair. That's fair.
but yeah, it's funny if you think about it. So there's certain things I had to learn because like the scissors were always dull, the left-handed scissors because nobody used them. So I had to learn to cut right-handed. I've learned to shoot right-handed because
Well, I would
if you
say that
shoot
I think
left, the bullets come out of and you. The first time you get one caught in your glasses or down your shirt, you'll learn you have to shoot right-handed.
so. It goes the right. So it ejects the
Yeah,
correct
because it's
direction.
painful. I've done it.
Well, what's interesting is I would say. I mean, I don't know if it's something that we all could be born that way, but then you kind of like figure it out as you go. But
Yeah.
even if you look at like you go back to Roman writing, writing to this day. I mean, you're left-handed. As you write with the left hand, you actually almost possess
Smear
the
it.
ability to smear and smudge. So writing itself is meant for somebody who is right-handed. However, you would have to be, I guess, Japanese, because Japanese actually do
With the
things
manga,
opposite.
Yeah. Right to left.
They do it this way, or
Yeah.
they go this way.
That's why I found these
So it could have just been you
notebooks,
from a completely entirely different nationality.
Mm-hmm.
and I really like them because they have lines on front and back.
Wow.
So
That's a
instead
little
of
racist. I didn't take you for just white.
yeah, no, I didn't say white.
Oh,
Um,
my bad.
but normally, like you hold it like this, but because the way it's printed, I can flip it, and I don't
Oh,
have
right.
this problem.
Oh.
And so I have
Honestly,
to
it's
write
probably better
almost
for you to have
manga.
it flipped.
It goes
Yeah.
backwards. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Left-handed notebook. Okay. I like that.
Well, it's a regular notebook. It just happened when I ordered it. I realized that the lines were identical on both sides, so I
Gotcha.
could flip it. And it's just something you learn. Like, and now I always get those notebooks because I can flip them.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Did you have? You know what? I think you only asked me one question. Do you have
I
more?
think that was all we got through was one question.
You can
And
ask me more if you want. I'm game.
all right, we can carry on. There's
Yeah.
nobody after me, so I'm
Well,
cool
cool.
with it.
I might drop out if that's okay.
Well, I understand it's a late time slot, so I don't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
she's
of.
Not
late.
mandatory, but I do
That's my
appreciate
bedtime.
everybody popping in and hanging out with me. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah, I'll
fun.
probably
Love
drop
y'all.
off too.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye,
All
guys.
right, ladies. Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Christina. I wanted
You're
to pop on and say
welcome.
hi. I'd heard so much about you and how great you are. So I just want to say
Thank
hi
you.
and thanks for
I
letting
don't
me
know.
hang
I'm
out.
a weirdo in the mountains that plays with goats. I don't understand why people. I don't know, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't
You're
take
welcome.
compliments well. It's just not something
Yeah.
I do well. But yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You guys have fun.
All right,
Good
guys.
Bye,
night.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Oh, there they go. Boop, boop. All right. Now it's just you and me, Mike. Ooh,
do it.
let the mayhem proceed here. Um, Going to my notes here. Blah, 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 blah. Have you ever felt like something happened that you just couldn't fully explain?
Well, I think that's kind of that's kind of against human nature, isn't it? I think we always strive to create an explanation, which is exactly why you'll watch some paranormal shows and they will say, well, I'm a skeptic. And a lot of that is because they are trying to find ways to
Rationalize
explain.
it away.
Right, right. So I think we always try to create that. It's just, do we accept the answer? Right? For example, when I was 7 years old, I was in my backyard. and I heard my name, but it came from the side of the house, which was completely walled off. So I don't know who was calling my name, but I assumed somebody was.
Mm-hmm.
So little old me walked to the side of the house, walked down the side, and I heard my name, and I'm looking around, and it's just a brick wall, so I can't see over. So I don't understand what it is or where it's coming from. And on the side of the home were these gigantic 2x4s for like home building that they just kind of had left there and stacked
They
up.
just kind of laid down. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, this home was probably built in the 60s. It was an old home, an old place in Vegas. One of the 2x4s just got up and hit me right in the stomach. Hit me so hard I flew to the other side of the yard and completely lost my breath. I couldn't breathe. You know that sound you make?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
done
that
it.
was me crawling around trying to figure out how to freaking breathe again. But there's nobody there. There's no reason for that
Oh,
to
wow.
have happened, right? So in a way, that's something that I can't explain. However, to me, I can't explain it. I fully believe, especially at the time that we're so busy focusing on there's just humans and animals, but I really do think there are such things as, you know, goblins and
Elementals and
elementals and gargoyles, and I really truly believe those things exist, especially when you're a kid. You're much more susceptible to them, and I think there was. I really think there was something, especially when I was younger, that was out to get me. And I couldn't explain why or how. But I wound up having another similar issue with my buddy Stevie Lappin. I had moved in with him. I'm 12 at this point, right? So I'm skipping a whole bunch of years, right? So here I am at 12. We had gotten in a bunch of trouble because we didn't clean our room. So we had to go and clean our room. Spent all day having to clean our room. We get it spick and span. We go to bed. He had a bed on one side. I had a bed on the other. We go to sleep. I had this. I swear it was a dream, but it was so vivid. Have you ever seen the movie with Rutger Hauer called Split Second?
no.
Okay. Outside of our window, and it opened our window, and it just destroyed our blinds. And it was massive. And when I say Split Second by Rutger Hauer, I'm gonna see if I can pull you up a picture, because it's the
Okay.
only way that I could say I saw that movie and I went, that's it.
That's it.
That is it. So I'm gonna pull up. And now again, this is obviously like just I don't know if you can see it, but you see it behind Rutger Hauer.
Does it have like a something here?
It's literally, it's just jaw. It's its mouth, like fangs, like just this giant rope.
But
It
does it
almost looks
have
like
sharp nose? It like a sharp nose and sharp ears?
no nose, no ears, as far as I can remember. Let me see if I can find another picture of it. It kind of had like it almost looked like a visor. I'm trying to see if I can find like a good photo of it. Split Second Monster. Like, because there's not really like.
Because I had a weird experience of something that I could never explain.
So it almost is like a visor for eyes, massive teeth, and these nails for fingers. The claws for fingers. And it's
Yeah.
just gigantic. But that's basically the only way I could describe what had worked its way in. And it was looking for us. but because we were asleep and not moving, it couldn't find us. So it just destroyed everything and then left. And we woke up, our blinds were destroyed, cut in half. There were these
Damn.
massive lines that ran all the way across the room. Our toy chest completely exploded, toys destroyed, parts of the bed were destroyed.
Oh
I
my
can't even
gosh.
I can't even explain. Just and oh man, I got my ass beat so bad
I
because they were
imagine
like, you
because they
guys,
thought you guys did it.
yeah, they're like,
And
one, you told me you cleaned, you obviously didn't clean, and then you just went ahead and destroyed everything. But the
right.
craziest part is when I woke up and Stevie woke up, we both looked at each other and said, did you have that dream? We
Oh
both had
wow.
the same dream, but we were just what do they call it? A paralyzed demon or whatever? Sleep
Yeah.
paralysis
Sleep
demon?
paralysis
It's
demons.
almost
Yeah.
what it felt like we couldn't move. But it was
Wow.
good that we couldn't move. It was like fortunate because I think if we could move, had I come to, had I tried to move,
It's like,
I
did
think it
you
would have
get
killed me.
some message from something or someone that was basically telling you what you needed to do and what was happening and kind of explaining it? You
Man,
know what I mean? To protect you. It's kind of like a guardian type thing. That's wild.
you know what it's called? It's called an imaginary friend. And I think that is actually what an imaginary friend's entire sole purpose
To
is
protect you when you're young.
to protect you against those type of things when you're young.
Yeah, because I definitely think that there are things that go beyond just the paranormal
Yeah,
or the our our known that people don't talk about. Because I talked about my one experience when I was on the panel at at MainCon last year,
yeah.
and I don't like talking about it because to this day it freaks me out because that's the one and only time in my life I've been attacked by something I couldn't explain,
Oh, okay.
and it was one of those cases of like the thing that's 9 feet tall and like it very similar to what you're experiencing, except I saw eyes
Right.
and it had like a
Well,
long
it,
nose and like
it
long
had
hair.
eyes, but I don't remember. It had eyes. Mine had so the split second one doesn't have eyes. It's just like a visor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. This thing did not have that, but it had eyes.
Mm-hmm. It had red eyes for me.
Yeah, giant
Very
red
intelligent
eyes.
red eyes. And it
I didn't. I don't remember ears or anything, but I remember it. I remember the. I remember the saliva. I mean, like
Mhm.
I can remember its smell. I can remember it. It's wild, man. It's wild. Well, but again, as a kid, you chalk it up to imagination, right? Oh, it's
Well,
imagination.
I
But
was a young adult when I had a similar experience, and
yeah,
you try to logic it away to survive because your
yeah,
brain wants you to be in comfort. So it makes you believe things or rationalize things
yeah.
that doesn't make sense. Because I had
It's
like
true.
it would bang on the walls around our house.
Yeah.
It would breathe in our room at night. It ran around the walls and went through a sliding glass door and
Wow.
then through the other wall. Like there was a lot of things that happened in that location. But when I got attacked, I was looking. I had a glass cup of milk because I just had a kid, and I was drinking a coffee cup of milk. And I turned to go back into the living room from the kitchen, and I saw a shadow on the entertainment center. And
Ah.
I'm doing this thing, trying to figure out if it's my shadow. It's
Oh,
not
right,
my
sure, yeah.
shadow. And I'm like, okay, whatever this is, maybe it's coming from outside. So I turn around to a sliding glass door, and there's a shadow there, but it I I can't explain it, but the posture of it was like because it had I don't know for your guy, but it almost stood like a werewolf with the pad that went up and then up. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like up on
I
its
don't
tippy
remember
toes.
its
And it was
legs, but I
very
was laying down having to look up, so I don't remember its
yeah,
legs
and this
anymore.
thing like it was almost funny if it wasn't scary. Like it had its arms up like it got caught and it froze.
Oh,
The
oh
shadow froze.
yeah.
Like oh, and then the more I looked at it, the more it kind of morphed into physical you know, I couldn't see it before, and then all of a sudden it's visible. And we locked eyes with each other, and I could tell it was very intelligent. And it just crouched down because it was about 9 feet tall. It blocked out most of the slide glass door. Crouched
Yes.
down and lunged through the glass door, went through the glass. It didn't break it, and it slammed into me and knocked me on my back, and I dropped the milk all over the floor and shattered the mug, and it felt like I got punched in the chest.
Mm,
And my husband at the time, unfortunately, he's gone, but he did write a thing about the incident. But it hit me, and he said it went out my side and out the glass window that was beside me, and
wow.
like went right through the glass, didn't break it. And I was so sick for 3 days after that. Like, it was the worst feeling I've ever had. I felt so sick, and there was no explanation for it. Like, I was cold, couldn't get warm. I was so sore everywhere. I felt like I got hit with a Mack truck. But
You
you
can
have
explain it. You know.
exactly, like, how do you explain that to somebody else
You can't.
without being a crazy person, right?
Right. Well, and I will put this towards paranormal when we do, especially psychics, and when you're doing any type of paranormal investigation, you're in a location where you're trying to basically put parts of the history together as a
Hi,
puzzle.
Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, you are even when when you think you're interacting with somebody that is a spirit or a ghost or an elemental or whatever it could be, you are in fact accessing part of your imagination. You know what I mean? You are creating a scene, right? You are having to set the entire scene of everything that you're learning as to how you're going to proceed.
Well,
You are
true.
you are creating, and I sound super nerdy, but I've played Dungeons and Dragons and I've role played since
I'm
I was
looking at
12 years old.
I've got the Dungeon Master's Guide staring me in the
There
face,
it is.
the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the
Mhm.
Icewind Dale.
Oh, I read The
Realm of
Icewind Dale by
the
R.A. Salvatore,
Yeah,
The
I'm
Crystal
a big
Shard.
fan of that. So you're in good
Huge.
company. We're
Yep.
we're nerds here. It's
Look, I
okay.
started off with AD&D and learning about
Same.
THACO, and I got my first job at 16 at Hobbytown, USA, because I was so much into D&D, and then 3.0 came out, which is open game license. So I typically only play Pathfinder at this point,
Mhm.
but um,
That's usually how everybody gets started with Pathfinder. But I was fortunate
no,
enough
yeah, I
that
started with
I
AD&D.
started with D&D because
Well, technically, I actually started with Palladium. I actually started with Rifts.
oh, I know Rift. Rift is complicated. It took
Rift is very
hours
complicated.
to
However,
create
Rift is what
character,
they
man.
use to create the TMNT.
Yeah.
So that was actually my very first role-playing game I ever played was TMNT, which is based on Palladium and Rift. So I did that. I've done Rollmaster. I've done Metascape. Um, I've done Deadlands. I've
Did you
done,
do VTM?
what is VTM?
Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes. I don't know but I've done that. I've done Aberrant, which is actually the same system.
Mm-hmm.
I've done Aberrant, I've done Brave New World, I've done Deadlands, uh, and different versions of Deadlands, and I've done Legends of the Five Rings, which is actually one of my favorite. Um, and I've done D&D. I've run third, 3.5. I hated fourth. Fifth
I
was
stopped at
okay.
3.5
Yep.
because I hated because they stopped listening to Gary Gygax.
Yeah,
And
they
that's when
basically
he
kicked him out.
left. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not support. And then they basically made 3.5, which was all the repairs of 3
Yeah,
that
which was fine.
the Wizard of the Coast thought should happen.
Yeah, I was
And
fine with most of the repairs because some of them were very broken in 3.0
yeah,
when they went on. But Pathfinder basically took 3 and 3.5, kind of made like 3.75, to be completely
yeah.
honest, because it was an open license. And so Pathfinder, now they have Pathfinder 2, but which I haven't actually played because I just like Pathfinder.
I
Leave the fuck
haven't
alone,
played
guys.
Pathfinder because I kind of got thrown into the D&D
Yeah,
pool. We played D&D, we played Rim, we
if you
uh,
like 3.0,
VTM. Mm-hmm.
Pathfinder is literally 3.0 with all of the kinks worked out. So my issue with like 4, 5 and even D&D 6, I think is what they're on now. There's just not enough crunch. I have a massive imagination. I love to tamper. I want to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sandboxer. I like to color game. I don't really care so much about combat. Some people are very combat oriented.
Oh
They have
yeah,
to min max for that. I know how to min max. I do it so I can survive combat, but it's definitely not what I'm there for.
you're there for the
So
story and the
I'm there
world,
for the
and
story and for the creation, and I love taking every character I have and saying, okay, this is what Mike would do. I want to be somebody other than Mike, right? Because I
right?
want to create a scenario that's not based on me at all. So I want to see how not me would react so I can learn. And I can adapt. I can critically think, should I ever get into these type of situations? That is exactly what paranormal investigation is. It is exactly the same thing, only you're taking it out of a person contextualizing the scene to a ghost, to a spirit contextualizing the scene for you. It's the only difference.
I
They
never
are
thought
lit-
about it that way.
Mhm.
That's
And
interesting.
it's so beautiful to me because it was something that I could say, I finally have something I can relate with in older life.
Gotcha.
I
Maybe
get
that's
it
part of the reason that I got dragged into this crazy world called the paranormal.
because it literally calls to
Mhm.
someone that knows there's something more than this. And
Yes,
they
I would
want to
absolutely agree with that.
experience it in every facet.
Yeah, and try to get those answers that nobody can understand, and you know, it's
Yeah.
that I think role players have the creativity and an open mind and to be able to basically be a receptor for what they experience in the paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah, and, maybe not all. I mean, not everybody's the same, but I do think it shows that you have a willingness
Mhm.
to suspend belief of what you see physically. To understand that, okay, well, maybe there's more,
Mhm.
right? Maybe there's something I'm not getting. Maybe there's more. Help me set the scene. That's so beautiful, dude. That's so beautiful. And that's
That's amazing.
why
I've never thought of it that way. I
it's
haven't. Like it's
it's the
mind
truth.
blowing.
And I use that. If you watch Paranormal, you'll see I did a lot of my comedy stuff. It's all introspective, but a lot of it is I understand that when I'm dealing with somebody that has probably passed away, especially something traumatically,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing they want to talk about or
It's their
witness or
death.
experience
Yeah.
is that 1% of life,
Right.
that
They have
last
so much more.
percentage.
And a lot of times, like EVPs happen more often when people aren't investigating. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
It's when you're having a conversation. I think they like to be involved in something because you got to
Because
think
guess
they're
what you did?
probably so sick and
You set the
tired.
scene for them.
Yeah, and they're probably so tired of having the same questions asked 100 million times. Like, do
Can
you
you
know you're
imagine?
dead?
Can you
When
imagine
did you
working at like
die? How
Waverly
did you die?
Hills or Trans Allegheny?
Right.
A
And a lot
hundred
of
people come through there. I'd want to kill myself again.
right. And Jeremy said exactly what I haven't seen too many things to not believe anymore. And then Howie's like agreed. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, most definitely. Like, I think you get
So
more for just being yourself, and it's took me so long to understand that
yeah.
that
Role
doors
play helps
open.
you create an open mind, helps
Mm-hmm.
you understand that the scene that you need to perceive can be completely different than the scene that you see,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Exactly.
great. And then understanding that can help you relate or communicate with the afterlife, not with the 1%, that last percentage of life. How did you die? Or did you know you're dead? Of course they fucking know. It's that other 99% of life.
Like, what was your life like? Like, did you
Yeah.
have kids? Did you like ever, go to a different state? Did you ever experience? And sometimes it's like just doing things that they would have enjoyed in their life, just
Right.
having
They see me acting
conversations,
like an
having a
idiot. They
beer.
go, well, hold on now.
Right?
It's the truth.
They're just like, whoa. Yeah, he belongs here. He belongs to Trans-Allegheny. Like, let's get him in a room.
holds them in because it's something so different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Different
they go,
energy.
okay, I've now set a scene for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? It puts you in that game master,
Yep.
the
DM.
dungeon master point of view versus just being a player.
Yeah. I like that. That's
It's
amazing. I've
it's
never
so
thought of it
important. It's
that
so
way.
beautiful. Not most people don't. I usually wouldn't bring this up, but you said you're a gamer, so this is my gamer advice. I said I've been doing this since I'm 43, so it's not like I've been doing it for a couple of years. I've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, I started gaming. I think I was, let's see, it was right after my first kid. So I was probably 19, 20
There you
when I
go.
started. I was late in life. I always wanted to play, but I never knew anybody that wanted to or had the books. So it was college. And the guy that I met at college, he was a DM for years and years and years. And he got me into it. He was the
Yep.
one husband that passed away. But
Okay, gotcha.
anyway, we're half hour over. I don't want to take up any more of your time because it is getting late.
Yes.
Before we end though, I want to ask you a big question.
Go ahead.
I gotta find it, and because I wrote it down and it was like, yeah, I want to ask this. If someone watching tonight is grieving in any type of way and
Mhm.
hoping their loved one is still out there, what would you tell them?
You know, there's actually there's a quote by Nietzsche, and I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Okay.
And this is exactly what I would. This is what I would say,
Okay.
because this is exactly what I would tell to you. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering.
I like that.
You got to get up, man.
Right.
You got to get up. That's what it comes down to. Basically, look, life is not ice cream with a cherry on top.
No.
You know, you're gonna get those moments, but look, not all moments are great. But just because you have a bad moment, you got to get up.
You got to turn that page. Start the next chapter. Write your own, not story to tell.
Look, and look, your story may not be great. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might not make it very far up the mountain.
Well, you should change that, Kira.
You absolutely should.
Gaming is great. Like, it gets a bad rap, but
It's kind of like acting without being in a movie.
you're right.
Somebody else just kind of
Yes.
sets the movie for you, and you get to
You play
portray a
in it.
character and decide how it's going to be portrayed.
It's so much fun, and especially if you get a good group that
Yeah.
is dedicated and they want to come week after week. You want to connect with a group of people and form some strong bonds. Do that. And paranormal investigating is the same way. And like, you find enough like-minded people that are open-minded and creative, and you can form a family in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
But that's just, like I said, my 2 cents on it.
Absolutely. But again, I would just tell people, life is intrinsically difficult. You got to get up.
Got to get up.
Even if you don't go far.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story with me tonight. And to everyone watching, the question still remains: is the afterlife waiting for us, or is it already closer than we think? Tonight's conversation leaves us with more than one question. It leaves us with a feeling that maybe we're not as alone as we think. From surviving a traumatic brain injury to searching for answers beyond this life, Mike's journey reminds us that sometimes the line between the world and the next isn't as solid as what we believe. So the
Got to play
question
D&D.
becomes, you got to play D&D. How we explain when we take our final breath. Do we move on? Do we stay? Or do we still try to reach the people we love from the other side?
Yeah.
Now, if tonight's episode made you think or feel something, let me know down in the comments and what you believe happens after death. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It truly helps the channel grow. I'm almost at 500 subs. It which I'm trying to get to that 1,000, and it allows me to keep bringing you more stories just like this one with Mike. And as always, thank you all for watching. Good night and sweet dreams. Bye-bye, guys.